Hello everyone and welcome to another Series 12 Doctor Who trailer reaction. More of a breakdown this one. The BBC, just out of nowhere, decided to drop a Series 12 release date trailer for the next series of Doctor Who. While I was in college, by the way. And it was unexpected. Now we knew, or a lot of us kind of speculated online, that we'd be getting the first episode of Series 12 airing on New Year's Day. So this being a trailer breakdown, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the entire trailer through first, and then go through it at kind of half speed and kind of work out what's happening in the scene. And we've got some new shots in there as well, so I'm going to try and break down as much of the trailer as possible by putting it on half speed and going all the way through to the end. So hopefully it will give us a bit more of an insight into the Doctor's next adventures coming into Series 12 and where they are going. So without further ado, let's start.
Crisis. Big crisis. Serious crisis. Big, serious crisis. Kisses. It's quite French, that, isn't it?
Who are you, Doc?
You don't know me.
You're the woman that brought us together.
Something's coming for me.
We'll be right here, by your side.
Let's go.
Welcome to the end of your lives.
People can save planets or wreck them.
I will take everything.
Get away from them! Be the best of humanity. Consider as you hope restored. Fancy a trip in the box? We're gonna save the world!
So let's go back now and take a look at it in a more in-depth kind of piecing together what the series has to offer. Now you can see there that the end card has BBC Doctor Who New Year's Day. We kind of guessed that at the beginning, kind of halfway through the year. There was a lot of predictions about when the series would air. Would it air in October, around the same time of Series 11, or would they wait until maybe January or probably February or March to do it? And obviously they decided to go with New Year's Day. We kind of knew that anyway, based on the time of filming and when it wrapped. And filming only there wrapped about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, so about 2 weeks ago, so it's kind of on par with what we expected. But now we are going to go all the way back to the beginning, and hang on a second. We're going to go all the way back to the beginning and kind of decode and take bits apart of the trailer to kind of figure out what's happening and what we can expect from the series. There's a lot of new shots in this trailer, of which we'll go through and we'll have a look at. So starting it on, let me think. Is it 0.25? I'll just mute that. Okay, that's too slow. What about 0.75? Yeah, that's better. Okay, so here it looks like they're in an airstrip hangar. And then if I just go back slightly, too much. And then you can see here that the Doctor has kind of a tracking device on her wrist. This would imply that it is either it belongs to the Judoon episode, I think, going off of what we see with the red dot on her wrist. I'm going to guess it's an explosion going off or something. But yeah, at a guess, I'd probably say that belongs with the Judoon episodes that we've seen we've seen filming pictures for on the internet. So I'm going to guess that and see what happens when we go through. Some very nice shots here of what looks to be either a church in space, with Graham on the ground. This is possibly something that Graham does in Series 12, goes and visits Grace or something, because we know that Grace died at the very beginning of Series 11, so maybe he's gone back to this like space chapel thing and visiting Grace for the last time or something. But it's very interesting, the cinematic shots and obviously the lighting and this light strobe coming in from the right hand side of the screen is very inventive, and there's a great use of camera techniques there being used in that sequence. That monster we saw in the trailer released about a week ago.
This is quite
right, and that's obviously the setting of. No, go back. This is obviously the setting of episode 1 with Stephen Fry as kind of a government superior, possibly working with UNIT. Very possible that UNIT could be back. This is also part of episode 1. We saw that in the trailer released a week ago. We also have insider information, which I will talk about. Well, it's not insider information, it's in the public domain now. But the TARDIS in the background, the bow ties and the suits, that's all episode 1. Now this, I'm going to release it gently.
Who are you, Doc?
You don't know me.
Who are you, Doc?
You don't know me.
Right, so that would imply, that line of dialogue would imply that there's a possible story arc for the Doctor this series, as referenced in the trailer released a week ago. But as this shot was also here, but if we rewind it slightly, you can see that the Doctor is holding something in her hand, possibly some sort of kind of communication device or something, or some sort of outer space device. It's the telecommunication device anyway, of some sort. And this was also, I think, partly shown. It wasn't shown in this. This is new footage, I think, but it's the same shot, just from a different angle. We saw the Doctor, the last shot, the last week's trailer. We saw the Doctor kind of almost stressed and worried about something, and she was peering her head from around the corner. So it's possibly that shot from a different angle, with the church in the background and some sort of electrical pylon there and a rusted scrapyard in the middle of it as the foreground. But that's a new shot. This was seen last week in the trailer. That was also seen last week in the trailer. But also there's new dialogue there last week. It's not all episode 1, but this here, this looks like some sort of government facility. Also referenced in last week in the trailer, we had a glimpse of that building. there. Moving on to the next shot, this one is completely new. You see, it was an aircraft hangar that they were in at the beginning of the trailer when it opened. You'll see now what they're running after. So you've got the Doctor, you've got Ryan, you've got Yaz and Graham running after a cargo plane, trying to, I think, either open or close the doors. And then okay, and then here you've got a nice shot of the beach, nice sort of coastal views, shots, specifically the lighthouse I think works very well. The Doctor's standing out in the lighthouse, probably looking out for someone or something, but that's a very quick, maybe millisecond of a shot there, just to give us an idea. Stephen Fry's there, the Doctor's on a bike, Lenny Henry's in a car, there's a car chase. Here, I think, I'll just rewind it slightly. So they're obviously running after, or not running, but on a cavalcade towards this guy, Lenny Henry, in the back of a Rolls Royce. Mandip and Yasmin and Ryan are both sitting there kind of upset and angry about something. That was also referenced in last week's trailer. This would probably relate to, there's Ryan and Yaz there, so Graham is absent, the Doctor's also absent, but it could possibly mean that this series we could lose Bradley Walsh's character, or it could be something completely different. Who knows, we just have to wait until New Year's Day to find out what that is. Or it could be a totally different episode entirely. Crashing ship, some sort of Rachnos creature. If it is a Rachnos creature, which a lot of people are saying it is, it'll be very interesting to see whether it's the descendant of the Rachnos or a totally different species. And people have been saying that this character is being played by, what's her name? She was in the Sarah Jane Adventures. She played one of Luke's friends. I can't remember, but it looks distinctly now that it looks exactly like her, or something similar to her. Someone similar to her, obviously. But it's a fantastic shot of the creature. People are saying that this guy looks like Nikola Tesla. This is obviously a time period of, I think, France or Paris. I don't think Nikola Tesla was around that time, but quite possibly was. We don't actually know who this character is at the moment. A lot of people are saying Nikola Tesla, but it could be someone different. The Jadoon, Yasmin is in peril. The Jadoon, and then people are saying that this is Tim Shaw's other relative. We don't actually get a full body shot of him, the front facing. We just get a back facing image of him. Some bats, Graham, some sort of Demogorgon crawling through the TARDIS. Obviously it's a better shot now because we got a glimpse of him going through the TARDIS last week in the trailer, and this is a bit, obviously it looks like it's a Demogorgon of some kind, because you've got, it's a bit like the Stranger Things creatures. So they've definitely taken reference from Stranger Things with that, but it'll be interesting to see where that goes. New Cyberman, something on Raz's nose, and this one could either reference to could obviously be could either be a direct reference to a new companion joining the TARDIS team, or if you remember at the end of Resolution, Ryan's dad was offered a place in the TARDIS and he declined. So it could be Ryan's dad that she's talking to, or it could be someone completely different. I'm hoping it's not a new companion, but if it is, then we might possibly be losing someone, or they could be just adding to the TARDIS team. The reason I don't think it should be a new companion is because I feel already that we've branched out some of the characters in Series 11 already, and realistically I think 4 people as companions to the Doctor in the TARDIS is too big of a thing. But now that we have kind of extra corridors or some sort of stairs in the TARDIS, it could be very possible that we could be getting a new companion during Series 12. I don't know. But yeah, I'll play this through, and then Space for All, Doctor Who, New Year's Day.